Okay.
My head's not gonna spin around or anything. So I have this blank notepad, I have this pen, and what I do is I just scribble. It's the way that I connect. Now, sometimes I do ask people to bring an object. It kind of opens me up to whoever happens to be around, whoever happens to come through.
I brought a pair.
Awesome, I like theirs.
I always get scared it's gonna like move.
Oh, probably not. I mean, the eyes are a little...
It's creepy,
Sure, yeah.
but it's meaningful.
Cool, okay. I'm just gonna bring through whoever happens to pop in.
Okay.
So we'll see. Okay. No pressure, Tyler. All right. Okay, over here. We already have some people kind of popping in already.
Do you see them? Like, are they looking?
It's
Wait,
interesting.
Do you see it, or I don't get it?
Mentally, so it's actually not like they're floating around here, you know, watching a shower or anything like that. But when I connect to this, there's a man that's popping in that's referencing to the fact that he feels as though he actually passed away middle-aged. So usually when I look at that, middle-aged, like 50, around that kind of time frame.
Okay.
As what I would see with that. And as he's coming through, he's making a direct connection to your mother, of all people. So I think I'm inclined to go on that side of the family.
Okay.
When I'm looking at this, before I got here, I was kind of getting the impression of maybe like mother's brother or some form of connection with this, but would...
Stop.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm looking at that, there's a reference for him of a couple things. He's very, very sweet, but he's joking about the fact that a mustache that people used to joke and be like, you need to shave that thing.
Stop!
But he refused
My
to get
God.
rid of it. Is that correct? I feel like you're the only person on the show, or one of the few that I haven't
one
read
of the
yet.
few, yeah. I've seen all of the episodes.
Oh, nice.
And myself and Mrs. Situation are big fans.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm excited today to see what comes through, and there's messages that might come through for her as well. So.
Yeah.
So the way that I work is basically I just scribble, and throughout the duration of this reading, my job is just to communicate anything that I see, hear, and feel.
I feel like right now in Mike's life, he really needs this reading because there's a lot of going on.
Well, what we can do too is we can talk about personal life. If you have any questions, is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, my life is very public, as you know.
Yeah.
This particular month, it's been, very hard, only because I had this situation, a legal battle in the news, which was very uncomfortable.
Now, obviously, being in the media, I know what you've been going through recently.
Yes.
And I'm so sorry you're having to go through that. What I would say is, I think there's going to be opportunities for leniency to be shown. And I really think that in the long run, I'm not worried about you. I think you're gonna be fine. I think you're gonna be good. Yeah, I feel really good about it. The feeling is that there will be some opportunities for it to not be like that bad of a situation. The feeling is like showing, I keep seeing leniency keeps coming through.
Oh, wow, okay.
So,
no, that is a possibility in my situation.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a world-ending thing. It's just a little bump in the road, and I feel like you're gonna get through it resiliently.
Good.
That makes me happy.
I'm seeing lace. It's always in reference to wedding. Do you have a date planned?
It took us some time to put the date only because I had this situation in the news, which, yeah.
They're kind of tying that into like the love life thing, and the feeling with this is like, pull the trigger, like you're good. Like do this, do it, you're good. The feeling is like we're fine. But I feel very excited about this. Interesting. They are having me talk about Dad's side. They are referencing to an older male. I'm trying to figure out what this is. They keep giving me an F, and to me, that's usually referencing to an F name, but they're putting this in multiple capacities, like not just one.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm seeing this name repeating in some way, so.
Yeah, that was my father's father.
Okay.
His name's Frank, and so is my father's name is Frank.
It's Frank as well.
And also my brother's name is Frank.
Gotcha. So is your paternal grandfather passed? Or is
Yes.
He... Okay, so I feel like I have to highlight him, but he keeps showing me a symbol for stubbornness, which always is, it's a donkey. He's showing me like a little ass.
Yeah.
And really in the way this comes through, there's such a sense of pride for you kind of breaking that cycle, because there is some cycles of behavior.
Oh, I definitely broke the cycle.
You broke the cycle.
I definitely broke the cycle. I put a lot of work in the past couple years to change every single aspect of myself. For my grandfather to know that I have changed my life, it was really cool for him to validate that.
Do you have any questions or anything along those lines?
There was something I had to ask you about was these photos that I brought.
Oh, great.
So my friend Billy, my best friend in the whole entire world, he passed away.
Right.
About 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Now this was like my best friend, and we did everything together and stuff like that. And he passed in a motorcycle accident.
Oh,
And we were together all the time. And so it's like I don't know if there's anything that you see, the way he died. How do you go living your life one day with him every single day, then all of a sudden, you don't. You live life without him, and I don't talk to anybody about this because I'm a public figure, but I'm private in that aspect.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'll just kind of let you know if I feel anything that kind of fits that bill, and we'll just kind of go down a couple things real quick and see if anything connects. There is a visual that's coming through. Feeling is, if I were turning, I would be fine. But I'm up straight. And this is the weird thing in the way this is coming across. I don't have the time to be able to correct anything that would have gone wrong. The feeling is the center of balance isn't at the center of the vehicle. It's almost like if someone's veering or turning and it's more on one side or more on the other, and we can't adjust quick enough, the focus is almost like I don't have the balance.
Okay. Feel like I'm shaking right now. Hear you say that? That's exactly what happened.
Oftentimes it helps to have like objects around. So did you bring any objects today?
Objects in the photos and
Awesome. I love it. Great. There's that one. That one. Go there, there, there. I feel like I'm gonna hold on to this. Let's see. We'll see who comes through. This is odd. Just check and see if there was like a funny story about someone being under the influence of alcohol, and like, I feel like I go from a high point to a low point, but it's not falling on the ground, it's like falling from a higher height. So it's coming in and it's like a memory of a situation where I don't know if someone's like drunk and they like, but I'm like falling, like I'm not just like tripping. I'm like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's so funny.
So what would be the relevance of that story?
That's my buddy Brandon. He actually just passed away last week, and we had a memorial for him on Tuesday, actually. I just found out the other day, when they were younger, he was hanging out on the roof with his friends, and I guess, like, you know, he was running from the cops or whatever, and he jumped on his neighbor's roof, and he went through the skylight, and he landed in the bed with the couple. They were in bed, so he fell through the skylight and, like, broke his leg and stuff like that, and he was all messed up, and, like, yeah, so it's, yeah. So everyone was at the memorial, and we all celebrated his life, and that's where I heard the story of where he fell. And when Tyler brought up somebody falling, you know, from a high thing, and he said he was laughing about it, you know, and it's something that I just learned the other day at the memorial. And for Brandon showing up today definitely meant a lot, because it just shows that we were really good friends, you know, so.
That's interesting. They got through. Kind of have a unique passing I'm gonna need to talk about. There's an acknowledgement of basically an individual who did not even get to live to middle age, and the feeling that's coming across is basically, I'm viewing this as a tragedy, something that I'd be viewing as like devastating because of the nature of how old this individual was when they died. But
I would say that.
Okay. I'm gonna have to channel this as best I can, but when this individual passed, there's a feeling of, I'm looking forward to something. This isn't like a situation where someone's depressed and they have nothing to look forward to. The feeling is, I know that I have all these things that I'm looking forward to do, I'm like planning to do these things, and I just feel like my life gets cut short.
To my knowledge, it was an accident. It was an accidental, unexpected death.
Right. I just want to mention there's a weird reference to the early July for some reason, and they're having me talk about 4th of July. So it could be a significant...
Oh my God, he died on July 7th.
Thank you. Okay, that would be it. There's a motorcycle ride, and there's a reference to being there during the motorcycle ride or like the bike ride. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This individual is not only coming through for you, but is interestingly like connected to your partner. And for some reason, there's a reference of like, I give this person signs too. Like, I'm connected to partner.
That's because that's not my friend. It's my husband's. Yeah.
I love that, because it's like, oh, I'm connected to your partner. I know you mentioned that this was an accident, but there's a feeling that comes through with this of questions being asked when it comes to the way that this individual is found. And weirdly, I'm still seeing question marks. And so even if we think we kind of know what happened, there's a feeling of there still being some elements of unknown.